Have you ever wanted to learn how to play guitar chord progressions in different keys? Are you confused by the idea of transposing things, moving a chord progression from one key to another, how this relates to guitar playing? All of that, it can be pretty straightforward if you really just put a little bit of time into understanding music theory. Guitar chord progressions are not any different than any other progressions, but one of the things that happens with them on the guitar is you can learn, especially if you learn a lot about bar chords, you can learn to play a progression in one key using nothing but bar chords, and then if somebody says, hey, you know what, let's play that a little higher, what they're really asking you to do is transpose it to a different key, and the idea of transposing something could seem really complicated and really confusing. But on the guitar, you can take this set of chords that you're playing all as bar chords and now just move them up the neck a little bit or down the neck a little if you want to put the whole thing in a lower key. And you don't really have to put that much thought, effort, or brilliance into it. You just have to follow the same pattern. And this is something that's not necessarily unique, but a characteristic of the guitar is you can learn patterns on the guitar that are movable that you can now apply to other keys. This doesn't happen as much on other instruments, particularly not on wind instruments, the clarinet, the flute, saxophone, or keyboard instruments, the piano and stuff. You have to learn a little bit more, maybe significantly more, about theory and chord progressions and all of that kind of stuff to be able to transpose them. On the guitar, you just have to be able to shift a pattern more in a geometrical type manner or something, and it's a lot easier. So this is one of the cool things about the guitar, is that you can learn to do a lot of stuff without really having to know too much about what you're doing. So that's kind of a neat thing. So you learn a few chords, you learn how to do a couple of strums, and then you learn a little bit about notes, and you are good to go. So a chord progression might follow something like this. It might be 1, 4, 5, where I'm playing G, C, and D, which would be the three major chords in the key of G. And so if I play those all as bar chords, with the G chord being at the 3rd fret, the C chord being at the 3rd fret as well, and the D chord being at the 5th fret, to play that same progression now in the key of A, all I have to do is move the whole thing up a whole step, 2 frets on the guitar. So instead of G, C, and D, I now am playing A, D, and E. So it can be very simple. One of the nice things about the guitar is, again, you can learn to do a lot of stuff without really knowing too much about what's going on.